Hello and welcome to the We Are Birmingham podcast. I'm Chris Golding.
I'm Matthew Elliott.
And as ever,
I'm BrummieJoe.
And as ever, we're joined by the vegan. Good evening, Dave. How are we doing?
Evening. Yeah, good. Thanks. Good.
So we should probably straight from the get-go explain. We are joined by BrummieJoe. BrummieJoe, we're going with Joe.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Joseph.
BrummieJoe, Joe, whatever you want to call me.
Wanker.
Sure. Shit, Davo.
No. Poundland Harry Potter.
Yeah. Oh, there's too many to count.
Milky Bar Kid. No, not that one. What's the what is the geezer out of the Latham's called? From
You know
Man.
what?
You had that one.
There was one who called me. There's one guy out of bad education, like the bully in it. Yeah. It's a bit of a niche one for the younger audience.
I haven't seen it, I don't think. But yeah, we're joined by Joe tonight because sadly, time scales with work and things with Matthew, he couldn't make it on tonight. So it was very last minute as well. So thank you, Joe, for coming on and helping us out so that we could have something out this week. Much appreciated.
Not a problem. I wanted a podcast to listen to as well. I will probably listen to it on repeat, but
because you're on it.
it's favourite podcast, so
especially if you're on it. Thanks for joining us. Now, do you both have a...
thanks for everyone who said no before we came to you, Joe.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
offense to those guys.
There's a list as long as...
Yeah, you're at least
All the ones
halfway
scratched.
down the A5 bit of paper.
I've been waiting for the call up. I'm Angle Gomez. You know what I mean? Overdue.
Yeah, a few people wondering who he even was, wasn't there? Anyway, let's get on to Blues rather than England. Did you both enjoy the Wigan game? I'm going to go to Dave first, actually, because he's just before we started. He said, "I don't remember the Wigan game."
I don't remember much of it. You know what?
Good day out.
I was preoccupied by the fact I think I might have broken my foot, and that's all I could really think of.
What at the game?
No, not at the game. Before the game, and that kind of, despite the result, I think I might have broken my foot, and the walk there and back, I'm not sure, or walking full stop at the moment, I don't think's helping.
Okay, you should probably get that checked out.
I've been thinking that, so, but I thought, doing 20,000+ steps on consecutive days around Paris might help. It didn't.
Should have got a scooter.
No scooters in Paris.
No, just a normal scooter, like a micro scooter, so you could have put your bad foot on it. Micro scooter, do you remember them?
One of them little skateboards.
No, not them. Something tech decks, were they called?
Okay.
No, not them. Like a little metal scooter that you fold down. They were called micro
I'll
scooters.
see if I can arrange one between now and Monday. Okay.
Okay, mate. Well,
But I don't remember the Wigan game
do you remember seeing me
at the end.
afterwards? Yeah.
Did we see you beforehand?
No, afterwards.
Afterwards, was this on the concrete steps?
Did I see you there? No, in town.
This is going well, isn't it?
When you said you couldn't remember the game, I assumed that you meant because of alcohol.
No.
It was just okay.
Because of pain
because
of pain medication.
I saw you in town with Dan Ivory, Almagier, and
the Vic.
Mark Watson.
You were
You were
drinking a cocktail, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
I remember that bit.
And so I was with a few of the lads that I sit with, and you were with the fat lad Mark Watson and Dan Ivory, and it felt a little bit. What's the film Anchorman? With the two TV news channels the multiple TV news channels where they fight outside. It felt a little bit like that, like it was a bit awkward, a bit of tension.
I mean,
And you were with them.
As soon as you start paying, I'll switch my loyalties.
Okay, mate. All right.
No, but the game, last minute goal. Last minute goal. I think I remember that.
Safe standing has changed the game with moments like that, because
That must have been great your end.
we ended up like, you could see it on the telly, on the footage afterwards. We ended up like 20 seats across or something. It just went absolute chaos. You're not safe standing, are you, Joe?
No, I'm one across. I'm 17.
Oh, you should get in there, mate.
Yeah, I actually thought it was safe standing when I got the ticket, but oh well. It was still lively enough where I was, and it's always good when like a few people around you like go on 85 minutes to miss the traffic and that. And I said to the guy in front of me, "You're gonna miss the goal," because you could kind of sense it, couldn't you?
It was coming.
Oh
man, it was coming. You could tell.
Yeah, unreal.
What did you think of the game?
Honestly, I was kind of. It feels like it was about a year ago. Like I don't know. I hate international breaks at the minute. Just like spins you out. I think we had, what was the last game last Tuesday, and then the Wigan game was on like the Saturday. But I think this one was just like it's the first game that it really felt like, I don't know, it felt like home. Like that last minute goal with the packed out stadium. Like I don't know, it's been so long since we've witnessed that. Like with 27,000 people there, and you could just feel it. And what was good as well was us needing a goal and looking like we're gonna score a goal. Like I can't remember the last time we've actually done that. It's usually like the opposition always looks too comfortable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this time it just wasn't the case.
I think for a long period in that second half, like the first half, I thought we controlled it without ever really pushing too much. It like we had a lot of the ball, didn't create too many opportunities with it, and then the second half, all the pressure came. So at the point where it was 1-1, you could just tell, you could just sense that it was coming, and it just built and it built and it built, and they went down to 10 men, and there was only one team in it, apart from the fact that they looked like they could actually break at one point.
I totally missed the 10-man thing, by the way. Like I come out the stadium and they were like, 10 men. I was like, what? I was like, because obviously it wasn't even a sending off, was it? It was like they had an injury,
yeah, and they'd used all their subs.
I mean, yeah, but I don't even know, man. It was just so good to watch. But yeah, I think like generally speaking, in terms of like our league performances so far, we still lack that conviction. Like every game, I'm like, this is gonna be the one where we get a convincing win. It clicks, like it works. Even when we go 1-0 up, you're like, okay, let's again push on. Like and we can tell we're trying, but it's still at the minute like when we need to score a goal, not when we want to score a goal. And coming up against like Wrexham now, who are the informed team, like them and Stockport and us kind of, but they just look so much more comfortable because they've had this team pretty much for like 3-4 seasons, and you could just tell. So it's going to be a real test, and I don't know about you guys, but I can't call it. But let's not get into that too quickly. What did you think about it? Were you actually able to comprehend what was going on, or were you sick in your hand?
There's been a succession of corners, hasn't there, building up to it. I think that's it was pretty much entirely your end of the pitch, wasn't it, for those like final? God, it was about like 10 minutes of extra time. Nine minutes.
Nine minutes.
9 minutes, and it was announced.
We scored in the first.
Yeah, it was announced, and we were like, yes, 9 minutes, score. God's sake.
Yeah. It was a last minute goal, but not an actual last minute goal. It was like 10 minutes to go still. But it was it was incredible. Yeah, it was down in front of the Tilton, which like that pressure. I think because the fans weren't even angsty. I think everyone had a sense of it's going to happen. It wasn't this the typical Blues mentality that's been there before, where it's like, oh, it's going to be one of them days. That wasn't there. I think everyone, or a lot of people, believed it's coming. It's coming. We're putting them under that much pressure. It's coming. It's coming. And I mean, set pieces weren't great. Ultimately, they weren't. We had corner after corner, and it was just like, put a decent ball in. I think there was probably one decent ball into the box.
Can I say, by the way, like in that last 10 minutes, like Clara was great all game, but in that last 10 minutes, he decided to be a right winger for a bit. Like Absolutely. He got himself in the box, he looked massive, and then he ends up doing that flick.
Little back heel.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's proven over the last couple of games, like, okay, he's got quality. You know, when like you could just tell. And I think it's going to be hard for Sanderson to find his place back. You know.
Well, I think that maybe the team selection against Walsall then probably suggested that pretty much that the pecking order is very, very packed out ahead of him. So I think you're right in terms of that. I don't even think that he's the next choice behind. If there's anything that happens to Clara or Bielik, I don't think that Sanderson's the next choice in line. I think that you've got Davis to come in, and you know, is he gonna move someone else there? If not, we've now got, I can't remember his name, the guy from Celtic, Japanese guy from Celtic.
Iwata? Something like
that sounds right. Iwata.
He looked class against was it Walsall as well.
Walsall, yeah.
I thought you know, you look at him, he plays CDM, he can play centre back, but he appeared like he can actually get on the edge of the box and have a shot.
Yeah,
which he
totally
did. Well, yeah, he did like a few times, and he's got a shot in him. So he's going to be useful in a few areas, and again a versatile player, which you kind of need in these 50, 60 game seasons. And you know, like you're saying there with Sanderson and that, I really expected him to get put in at Walsall because I thought it was going to be a whole case of, okay, you're not starting in the league, fight for your place in the cup, whatever. But I don't know, maybe it's not in his plans, and I'd probably agree with him.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I think that's probably been brewing potentially. I think that Walsall game probably showed that a little bit, that if you can't get into it then, unless there was an injury or something that we don't know about, but I don't think there was. I think that's been brewing a little bit, and it's like one of them where you're next in line down the pecking order. I think there might have been some potential movement in January, in the summer, that didn't come to fruition. But yeah, let's not dwell on that. I think if you look at so I've got the stats in front of me now for the Wigan game. 16 shots that we had, 8 on target. Again, it was later on as well. We were peppering them. Quality wasn't always there. Passes, we had over double that Wigan had for the game. We had 668. They had 333. Clear-cut chances, 3. I think it was just... It wasn't complete in that second half, and the second half of the second half, it was dominant. And I think that might be... That hopefully gives us a bit of confidence going forward in the league.
Can I just... I think it will, but I think there is another factor as well, which I'm not sure when this happened. Like, you might have to correct me, but I know definitely in the Walsall game, I can't remember if he played in the Wigan game or got injured, but I feel like Laird has been a real threat, and he's had mixed reviews from fans this season. A lot of people complaining that like his end product isn't good enough, which like there is room for improvement for sure, but as an outlet, as a means to go from defence to attack, he's key. And like at times as well, when we come up against more open opposition, like look at us against Fulham, I'm pretty sure most of our attacks were us pulling Fulham to one side and pinging the ball over to Laird. You know, the goal we scored late on earlier in the season where he controlled it down, like I think I haven't seen enough of Samstead. I think he came on in the Wigan game. I haven't seen enough of him.
He did.
But
it was the Wigan game that Laird went off injured.
Yeah, he's not the same player, but you can see he's got quality. And I think again, it's going to take a lot of these new players like a little bit of time to get up and running. But I think like in maybe the second half of that game, and definitely in the Walsall game, we missed Laird.
Well, I think if I could be completely wrong here, it's one of these situations where I haven't looked into it before we've come on here, but I think that, I don't know if Dave could look at this for us. But I think that the injury that he's got was an impact injury that he picked up. And if that is the case, then it's not his normal issue with muscles and anything else like that that's going on. So that would be a good thing. The only thing would mean that coming back from that, we'd need to really nurse him, because the last thing that we want is him to come back from an impact injury and then pick up a muscle injury because of that, because that fitness isn't there. But I don't think that's not a massive problem now, because we've got players to come in each area. I mean, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, that we've now got 2 starting 11s essentially that you can now that could probably both compete in the league. That we can now go, right, okay, well, we've lost Laird, we can bring in Samstead, who's perfectly capable. He won't offer exactly the same, but they've probably gone for that diversity deliberately. But now we can get him in and he can have a little go, see what he can offer.
Yeah, definitely. I do think he's going to grow into it. Like I said, there was a couple moments where he was like doing overlaps, and he showed he was a little bit, maybe a bit more attacking than I first imagined. But obviously, just led. I really rate him. But yeah, shall we? Oh, one more thing, by the way, about that game is I think you can't forget, because it's easy because it was the first goal. But Alfie May, like, one chance, one finish, one goal. Like, every time he scores a goal, I think Scott Ogle would have missed that.
Can I just? I agree with you totally. It's having someone that clinical is really special and really key to scoring goals. But while we're talking about that goal, Willemsen has taken a fair bit of stick for. Is he this? Is he that? He doesn't look that good. What a fucking ball that was!
Yeah,
what
the
a ball!
weight.
Absolutely perfect. It was spot on. It was absolutely beautiful. And I think that I think he's going to be a key player if we can keep developing him in that way to get him involved. But I thought it was fantastic. I know that Matthew's not on this week, so we can't talk about Hanson's game, who I didn't actually think was too bad.
I can't see much on Laird other than the sort of report, Davis's reporting of the impact injury he suffered in terms of recovery from it. It's, I can't see much in terms of an update that past that initial kind of report of it.
But it was an impact injury.
Yeah, impact injury on the ankle. Yeah. Is that a dog?
I thought it was.
Is that a dog? Is there a dog behind you, Joe?
Sorry, he's just heard someone. He's all right. He'll settle down now.
Should we all have had animals behind us? I missed the memo on that. Have you got something behind you, Chris?
No?
Only blue shirts.
Only blue shirts.
There's one there
Joe's,
as well.
Fucking hell, dogs everywhere.
I thought he was showing us the washing.
Yeah, no. Well, I've put most of it away. There's a couple of wet things, but yeah.
Should we move on to Walsall?
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Walsall. Oh, Jesus Christ! It feels my memory's going. My memory's honestly going. Walsall.
Like a week ago.
Yeah.
So we played Walsall last week.
We went one down, didn't we? My memory's going as well. We went 1-0 down, and then we scored late on-ish. 80 minutes?
Do you know what?
Right?
I didn't even get to watch the first half.
It was, yeah, no. Clara scored on 85 minutes, so again, another time when we've had to wait till 80 plus minutes to either wear down a team or just wait till we really, really, really need to score. But we have managed to score. And again, Clara's doing what Clara does, like proving to be very, very vital for us. We then go on to again, I think the whole thing is very weird.
The extra point penalty shootout.
I mean, what even is that? So you get it's. I mean, people talk about nonsense things in football right now, but having a point for a draw and then doing a penalty shootout for an extra point. Penalty shootouts are meant to be about like jeopardy. Like, oh my god, there's so much. Right, it's just a bit weird.
It's worth noting that even BBC Sport didn't know what was going on because they put the table up completely wrong, as if Walsall had won on the penalty shootout. But yeah, so Charlie Lakin it was who scored. I did see the goal. I'm like you, my head's gone to mush. I think, mate, this parenting.
This parenting. International thing you said at the start. It throws everything.
It does. It really does. I haven't watched any of the internationals either. I think it's just like the break in between. Charlie Lakin scored right at the start of the second half. Charlie Lakin, who used to be at Blues,
typically. Probably the worst time to score ever.
Yeah,
Apart
after you've just had your talk and whatever else.
Too easy that was, but again, it was just a simple counter attack. Pull it back. You could almost see it happening, like when they're at the halfway line. But yeah, really well taken by Lakin, and
lovely
good to
finish.
see him doing well at least.
Well, that is going to be, I think, our Achilles heel this season. I think we've said it a few times on the podcast that counter attacks, we haven't got pace, and we're going to struggle. But it was just one opportunity. Keller is out of position at left back, gets caught out, nice ball across, and like you said, a nice finish from Lakin.
Speaking of Achilles heels, I think we might have two.
Go on.
I think it's very early days, but there's a few people starting to worry about Peacock Farrell and whether Allsop should step in. Obviously, over the international break, there was another one, maybe not so much his fault, but you've got to think of right now. If he's going to continue to start, and I think it's a pivotal point for Chris Davies as a manager as well in terms of man management, like how he instills that confidence in him, and then it's also going to speak to the character of Peacock Farrell as to him being able to be like, put it behind him, because that's what he's going to have to do. I think both sides are interested.
You're going to make mistakes. We've said before that I think Davis's mentality of it is you're going to make mistakes. Get on with it. But we signed Allsop because he was the best at playing out from the back to fit this style. So if you're going to play that way, and I said this the other week, if you're going to keep playing that way and you're going to persist with it, then regardless of anything else, that's your primary way of playing. If you start messing up that way and conceding goals, then do you think about changing it and bringing in the guy that is better playing out from the back and offers you more that way? You might concede elsewhere, but I mean, the Peacock Farrell's made mistakes as a goalkeeper with the basics. So
I think the thing is, right, it's not like it's a number one and then a backup keeper. Like you said, in every position we've got two players and they're competing with each other, and it doesn't tend to happen with goalkeepers because it's just a totally different area. But we've signed two goalkeepers of similar ability who are there to kind of push each other. So you've got to think some like Peacock Farrell will know that he's breathing down his neck. And again, like I say, it's down to his kind of character whether he can brush that off, and I'm praying he can do that for Wrexham.
Now, as it's the Wrexham game coming up, it's the WWW podcast essentially because of the Wigan, Walsall, and now Wrexham. We're looking ahead to Wrexham. We're gonna get the lowdown. Fuck me, I can't talk tonight. We're gonna get the lowdown from Ben from Blues Breakdown, who's gonna give us a little insight into what we can expect from Wrexham.
Birmingham versus Wrexham, the game that some are dubbing El Cashico. Whilst the spotlight will be on the celebrities associated with both teams, it's likely to be a really intriguing game on the pitch. Wrexham, like Blues, are currently unbeaten in the league and sit top with 13 points from 5 games. The game will see two very contrasting styles of play, Chris Davies' possession-heavy, slow and methodical build-up against Wrexham's more fast and direct style. The two styles of play are reflected in the League One possession standings, with Blues sitting top with 68%, whereas Wrexham's 38% possession places them 23rd in the league. The contrast in styles of play extends beyond the possession statistics. Chris Davis has spoken at length over the summer about high pressing, and Birmingham currently have the most aggressive press in the EFL, according to PPDA stats. PPDA is passes per defensive action, and basically is a measure of how frequently one side allows the opposition to pass the ball before making a defensive action. Birmingham's current figure is 8.37. Conversely, Wrexham have the least aggressive press in the League One so far this season, with a PPDA of 14.59. All of this is not to say that Wrexham's style of play is not effective, however. They're currently League One's top scorers with 11 goals, and only Stockport have conceded less than Wrexham's 2 goals so far this season. The permanent addition of goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo from Arsenal during the summer has certainly made an impact, as he currently leads the league in goals prevented. In fact, their recruitment over the summer was in contrast to previous windows, whereby they had often opted to sign experienced players from leagues above. There seems to be much more of a focus this summer on recruiting players about to enter their prime years. The average age of their summer window was just 23.5 years, with the likes of Okonkwo, 22, Seb Reven, 21, Lewis Brunt, 23, and Mo File, 21, all joining the Welsh side. Of course, they still have plenty of quality all over the pitch. I'd expect Wrexham to line up in their familiar 5-3-2 formation, with former Solihull Moors player Ryan Barnett and either Seb Reven or James McLean providing the width up from wing-back. A midfield trio of Elliot Lee, Ollie Rathbone and George Dobson is certainly in the debate for the best League One midfield. Lee in particular provides a real goal threat and has championship pedigree. Up front, Wrexham have plenty of options, including the physical threat of Ollie Palmer and the return of goal-getter Paul Mullins. His goal-scoring form over the past few seasons is certainly akin to Blues' very own Alfie May. It'd be fair to say that Chris Davis has done a fantastic job in imprinting a very clear style of play on his Birmingham squad, but we're yet to see a complete performance. Blues have done enough to see off Wycombe, Leyton Orient and Wigan so far this season, but Wrexham will almost certainly provide the sternest test yet. A style of play in complete contrast to our own, combined with the best record in the first 45 minutes of games so far this season, mean Birmingham will need to be on it from minute 1. Willem Willemsen could have a big part to play if he starts as the number 10. It's important whoever starts up front for Blues doesn't become isolated against Wrexham's 3 centre-backs, all of whom can handle themselves very well physically. An area that Chris Davis may look to exploit is from set pieces. Both goals that Wrexham have conceded so far this season have come this way, and whilst they've been excellent at limiting open play chances this season, they have given up the largest expected goals against from set plays in the league. It promises to be an excellent game both on and off the field on Monday night, with a fantastic atmosphere inside St Andrews. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think Wrexham will probably open the scoring before Blues pull one back and then find the winner in the last 10 minutes of the game. Keep right on.
Ooh, last minute winners again, or late winners. I don't think we can keep doing that. I think we need to start taking games by the scruff of the neck.
I think if we're going to win this one, it will be that way, though. I think it will be later into the season. We'll start to see us get a few 3-0s, 4-1s, this, that and the other.
Well, thank you for that, Ben. He's gone now.
Chris, the best thing about you looking up in that direction means for about 3 or 4 minutes, you can see the spot above your right eye.
I concealed it.
Concealed it, yeah, done well.
Yeah, have you just pointed out to everyone that has missed it? I've got a second head grown. Well, Makeup's not in the budget for the web podcast, sadly.
We'll move it in post.
Thanks, mate. Good luck with that. Well, yeah, cheers for that, Ben. It's really interesting, but it's for me it's a little bit of what we've seen anyway. So I think if you look at Wrexham's stats for the season, particularly the way that the possession that they have is very low. What was it? The lowest in the league in terms of possession, but they're one of the top scorers or top scorers in the league. I just like our Achilles heel that we mentioned earlier of having counter-attack football played against us. This is going to be a challenge for us, and I know we'll come on to the predictions in a bit, but I'm a bit nervous about this game. I think not that I'm concerned about how good Wrexham are, because I think that we've got a very good squad, but just that I don't think that their style suits us, and it concerns me. The speed at the back.
Does this mean we're not going to get one of your 4-0 predictions?
Well, I'll tell you what. I went on to speak with Matt Jones on the Racecourse Ramble podcast today, and I told them that I was concerned about the game on Monday, that I could see them nicking it, and they asked me for a prediction, and I still predicted 4-0 Blues. So let's see what Matt Jones from the Racecourse Ramble has to say.
Hello, we are Birmingham. I am Matt from the Racecourse Ramble Wrexham FC podcast, and I'm here to give you a Wrexham perspective on the Monday night game between Birmingham and Wrexham. You will have to bear with me. I'm coming down with a cold stroke flu, so this video might look a bit choppy because if I start coughing, I'll pause it so you don't get all that noise. However, I'm going to crack on. Thoughts on Wrexham's season so far? So delighted with where we are at the moment. Can't believe our luck, really. Never expected to be in this position at all. I think, realistically, we were hoping we'd just, start the season with a couple of wins, but to be where we are far exceeded our expectations. So we've got good momentum coming into the game on Monday night. Expectations for the season, realistically, Wrexham were probably hoping, or certainly the fans were hoping, to be sort of middle of the table to fighting for a playoff spot. I don't think that's the owner's expectations and hopes for the season, that's for sure. But yeah, I think realistically, before a ball was kicked, given the fact that we've been out of sort of League One for a while now, I think realistically that was the fans were probably expecting that. Obviously, there's always some fans that expect you to win the league, but realistically, I think that's where Wrexham fans were hoping we would be this season. I guess from a Birmingham point of view, what you need to be aware of is that we're just so good without the football. Phil Parkinson doesn't seem to really be interested in dominating possession, which is the modern way of playing football. So he's built a side that's strong, it can stay in shape, structurally is sound, and is good at set pieces, and is good at playing direct. So we get from back to front really quickly. We'll test you that way. So yeah, I think that'll be a different test perhaps than maybe what you've had so far. So that's probably from a setup point of view, I think that's probably what you've got to watch out for more than anything. Obviously, from a Birmingham point of view, we're aware of young Mr. Leonard in midfield. The rumours are we were in for him as well. So obviously, if we let him dictate the play too much, then obviously that could be problematic for Wrexham. And obviously in Alfie May, you've got tried and tested goals. So and obviously then you've also further invested in Stansfield. So I think Leonard is probably the one, from my point of view, that concerns me the most from a Birmingham perspective. I think that's the player that we need to shut down really quickly in order to try and prevent him sort of starting moves and creating that'll cause Wrexham problem through the game. From a Wrexham point of view, I think individual player wise, he won't cause you problems as such. From an attacking perspective, probably, but George Dobson is the standout player for us so far this season. He breaks up play tremendously, ex-Charlton, so you may have come across him before, but he's a real game breaker. Elliot Lee has been with us for a few years now, so he creates and scores from central midfield. And Ryan Barnett down the right-hand side has really good pace and a quality final ball the vast majority of the time. And then up front, Jack Marriott has started the season really well. So if he gets a chance, he's keeping a returning Paul Mullin out of the side at the moment. He's just coming back from injury. So Jack Marriott is probably the be the big goal threat. So that's probably the player that you'll be focused on, I think, more than anybody. It's going to be a massive night under the lights, Sky Sports on the telly. There'll be a lot of talk, probably from Sunday onwards, in the press. I don't know from an owner's perspective whether any of our owners are actually coming. I know Rob McElhenney did tweet Tom Brady and said, we'll see you on Monday, but I don't know whether that was literal or whether he was just being sort of figuratively speaking. So massive night under the lights. I'll be there, really looking forward to it. I'll be delighted, to be honest, if we come away with a draw. That's my prediction. I'm hoping for a 1-1 draw, realistically. I think most Wrexham fans would just, we'd be delighted. It's early in the season. You've not really got going yet. So I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation to come there and get a draw. We had a good draw away at Bolton early on as well, who will be up there at the end of the season, I'm sure. So yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Wrexham will set up in their traditional 3-5-2, so you can expect to see our wing backs bombing on and some hopefully. I mean, we have really good passages of football. Don't get me wrong. I probably undersold us a little bit. We have had some really good possession football, but we're happy and we're comfortable sacrificing and not having the football, and that's become a problem for a few teams, it would appear, because obviously the game is so possession based now. So obviously I'll wish you good luck for the rest of the season when you're not playing us, but yeah, hopefully on Monday night 1-1. I'll be delighted if we can sneak something, but 1-1 is my prediction. All right, thanks very much.
Right, thanks for that, Matt. It's really interesting to me for me to hear him saying that they'll be happy with the draw. Like, I would have thought that they were like all over trying to come for a win, but he's right. It's going to be one of those, the stars there, the sky, under the lights, Monday night under the lights. You nervous?
I'm very nervous.
I think this could be the one. This is like the big test.
I just don't want to. I just don't want us to be on a documentary and have Ryan Reynolds like going, yeah. I can't do an impression of him, but him just like, I don't know why I had Ryan Reynolds as a New York like Italian American. Then like, hey, I'm walking here.
Oh, he's Canadian.
Yeah,
wants to be American.
But yeah, just like, I mean, they're just. If there's a team you want to beat in this league, it's them really, isn't it? Because it's obviously the reverse is it's us.
As Ben said earlier, El Cashico. It's like
exactly.
El Cashico. What a name! Like,
yeah, so
yeah, it's the big one of the season, first one around. Talking of Ryan Reynolds, should we get a guest prediction in?
Go
see
for
what
it.
he's got.
Hi, Blues fans. Since taking over Wrexham, we've used Birmingham as a yardstick to target our ambitions, and now that Blues have Big Tom Wagner at the helm, you're only going one way, and we hope we can follow you. My prediction for Monday's game is that you'll beat us 3-1 with Alfie May scoring.
Right, A-I-N Reynolds. See what I did there? That wasn't actually Ryan Reynolds.
Could have been a lot harsher on it there, You could have gone further.
Wait till you see the video of it, Joe.
There's a video that accompanies it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Ryan A-I-N Reynolds is going 3-1 Blues with Alfie May to score. What have you guys got, Joe? You're doing it on behalf of Matthew this week, so this isn't your guest prediction. This is for Matthew.
Right. Okay.
Go. Yeah.
Well, I'm still just gonna go with what I think will happen. I'm gonna go with my heart a little bit more.
Well, hang on.
I think we're gonna start off. I think what the guest said there, we will concede first. And I think my miserable prediction would be probably 1-1, but I'm not going to go with that. I do think again we'll get a late goal. There will be drama. It will be great for the documentary. I mean, hey, every bit of kind of film, media, whatever. It needs a bit where there's a bit of turbulence. We are that turbulence for them. So we will gladly give them that. And we'll take 3 points from them. I think the goal scorer will be...
You can't use Alfie May because Chewy used Alfie May last week.
There's very complex rules around this.
Alfie May's the default. That's the first goal. Anyway, so, but the second... Oh, can I say it? Okay. And I think... Clara again. I'm going to take what they said about set pieces. I'm going to take his goal against Walsall. Who's going to be the man that's going to rise above like a salmon and just absolutely bonk it off his nose? It's going to be him.
Like it. Vegan?
So I can't quite remember what I predicted or who I used last time. Again,
you used Alfie May.
So
and
we're
Chewy.
in a no May situation. I'm just going 1-0 Stansfield.
I forgot we had Stansfield then.
I think
we might have doing that.
We might have to tweak the rules on the Alfie May card. It might have to be you can't play your Stansfield or Alfie May card because you're just going to flick between those two each week.
You can't pick people that are going to score goals as you do.
You can't just have 1 week Alfie May, 1 week Stansfield. Like, no.
Isn't that the point of them, though? What do we have to do? We have to say fucking 4-0 and they're all going to come from...
We've got 2 first team squads, essentially. 2 first 11s.
But you're not allowed to pick any of them that they're going to score. Because Chris says so.
No.
1-0 Stansfield.
Right, okay. And even though I've got a really bad feeling about it not going to go our way, I'm going to go 4-0 Willemsen.
All 4.
just one. Then a hat trick for Alfie May, but I'm not going to... Oh, I could use that. I can use Alfie May. I
bet you're glad you don't do this every week.
I'm sticking with Willemsen. Even though I can, it's just out of principle, Vegan, just to show you that you can use other players.
So what are we thinking? We're thinking in 2 years, 1 year's time, it's going to be worth subscribing to Netflix to see this game on whatever series of whatever show they're on.
I've just got this feeling in my stomach that it's not going to be one that we want to watch back. It'll be interesting to see them coming to St Andrews and Tom Brady there welcoming them and all the drama that goes with it.
The thing is, right, and think about it. If you're Wrexham, what are you going to want to do? Silence the crowd. They're going to bore us. They are going to bore us. That first half, I think, like look at the way, they're happy to not have a lot of possession. They're happy to sit back. They're going to, first and foremost, aim to frustrate the home fans, which is fairly easily done, let's be honest. And then they'll push on. So it's not going to be an easy game whatsoever. We need to break through that. But we've shown that against teams that kind of want to sit back, we can find it hard to press through. And also there's the dilemma of getting Alfie May and Stansfield in the same team. Like, that's something that we probably glossed over in the Walsall game. It was maybe a test of where to play them both, but we've not cracked the code, so it's going to be tricky.
All I will say on that is that Alfie May is a striker. Stansfield has a bit more freedom about him.
Yeah, put Alfie May in the box. Don't try and pull him back and get him playing these Harry Cross pings. Put him where he can score goals, and then Stansfield. Yeah, I think he can maybe on the right hand side or something. I don't know. Take the pressure off him a little bit as well.
Yeah,
he'll be dying for that first goal though. He will be begging for that first goal, and if he scores it, he's going to Adebayor it.
Another sellout at St Andrews as well. So the crowd will be there. The crowd will do their part. So hopefully the players can do theirs. Right, Joe, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Very last minute. It's much appreciated. At least we managed to get a podcast out that wasn't just me nagging at vegan and vegan giving some shit back.
We'll let you put your washing away now, Joe. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate you.
Yeah, go and finish your chores. And I'll see you on Monday, mate.
Yes, we'll do.
Right, thanks, mate. And until next time, thank you everyone for listening, and enjoy the game on Monday and keep right on.
Oh
no, you've missed the cue, Joe.
No.
And keep right on.
To the end of the road.
Okay.
Joe's always turned off by this point.
Yeah, but as soon as Chris starts talking, I'm like,
keep right on.
Clearly. Yeah, but you haven't made it through to the end of a WAB podcast before, have you?
I need to have a look. I'm pretty sure I have, but I think I've lost interest by then. It's more like white noise.
We all say keep right on.
Oh, do ya? I was like, is he saying fucking forever true or something? Keep right on. Oh, of course. Keep right on.
Keep right on.
It's not the most memorable part. I'm not gonna lie.
Matthew, we're going to welcome you back with open arms next week.